Tanner leans back in his chair and takes a deep breath in. These fucking hackers! He yells as his game suddenly lags when he's on a 24 kill streak with one off from dropping a nuke on the whole goddamn lobby. In frustration, he throws the controller to the ground, rips open a bag of Doritos and begins gorging himself on his daily fare of chips, Hot Pockets, and Mountain Dew. He needed to take the edge off. Tanner's all about instant gratification, and he would have it no other way. He eats whatever he wants when he wants. He goes to sleep late and wakes up early crawling out of bed like a crack addict to get his next fix of caffeine to be able to function for the day. He couldn't give a fuck less about his health, and it shows. When I first started my journey on becoming an aesthetic god, the one thing I wanted to learn the most was how do you burn fat and build muscle at the same time? Now, during this journey, learning more about health and wellness, I kept hearing about this hormone called insulin. And insulin is kind of like a storage hormone. It helps build muscle, store fat, and burn energy, among other things. And so I came across this book called Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It by Gary Taubes. And in this book, I basically learned that, insulin is kind of like the master hormone. And so theoretically, if you normalize insulin down to, a normal baseline level, then all the other hormones should basically fall into place. And so, I started watching what I ate a little bit closer, and I even lost a bit of fat, but I found that I still wasn't really seeing the progress that I wanted inside the gym. All I wanted to do was to reduce my body fat percentage and to increase my muscle mass so that I could finally stop being a skinny fat bitch. But to be honest, I really just wanted to live up to these exceptionally high standards that I had placed on myself so that I would finally feel good about myself. I never quite looked like my idea of the ideal male body type. And so I kind of felt like a disgrace. I felt like, I wasn't even worthy to be loved as a human being. Like I was some type of subspecies that couldn't even attain a six-pack. So I decided to jump on the ketogenic diet. If insulin was the problem, then imagine what would happen if I dropped my carbohydrate consumption down to just 20 grams per day. And mainly just ate the foods that kept my blood sugar stable all throughout the day. In theory, this would solve all of my problems, right? Well, while I did like the stable energy throughout the day and the stable mood, as well as the significantly reduced appetite, what I found was that it was extremely hard to gain any muscle mass or strength on the ketogenic diet. And I remember one day I decided to play, a game of flag football with some friends while I was on the diet. And, I was running, I was trying to juke people out, trying to break people's ankles, but I noticed that I couldn't run as fast as I normally would be able to. It was kind of like in the dream world where you're trying to run away from, like a scary monster or something, and you're exerting all of this energy, but you're not going anywhere. And so I kind of felt like I had like a governor installed in me, and I noticed that my athletic performance had dropped significantly while I was on the diet as well. I was so frustrated because I wanted the ketogenic diet to work so badly. I had originally planned to just do a quick 30-day experiment on the diet, but I loved it so much that I actually stuck to it for an entire year. But at the end of the day, it wasn't getting me the results that I was searching for so long. And so I could have just given up right then and there, but instead of living the rest of my life in regret and wondering what if, I decided to take the advice of Goggins. Goggins understands that health and vitality in this world isn't a given, so he doesn't leave anything to chance. He gets his sex hormones tested yearly to make sure he never feels like anything less than a god. While Tanner is out playing video games and watching porn in isolation, Goggins is enjoying leveling up in real life in the gym. He takes his shirt off regularly to flex on his haters while simultaneously soaking up the vitamin D from the sun to power up. Goggins radiates black Air Force energy due to his superior physical health and finds himself surrounded by women without even trying. Goggins doesn't eat bullshit fake food, but instead nourishes himself on whole foods like fresh meats, vegetables, and fruits. He was brought up in a traditional manner, observing the other apex predators around him, and so when he makes a kill, he makes sure to devour the organs just like a lion would. At the end of the day, Goggins sleeps like a fucking newborn baby in his Tempur-Pedic mattress with his blackout curtains and soothing ocean wave soundtrack, getting his 7 to 9 hours in because he knows that sleep is the foundation of health. So this got me thinking, how can I make failure impossible? You know, what are the things that I can start targeting that are going to have the greatest effect on my body composition? And at this point, I started thinking back to puberty and how teens, you know, routinely put on a bunch of muscle mass while losing fat at the same time. And I learned that the driver behind this was this hormone called testosterone. So if I'm able to naturally raise my testosterone levels to the highest degree possible, in theory, wouldn't this produce a more lean and chiseled look? So I started researching everything I could about, you know, testosterone and how you can naturally optimize it. And I got to work. You know, I started prioritizing my sleep, getting, you know, 7 to 9 hours per night. I, you know, stopped being a chronic dieter. I fixed certain nutrient deficiencies and started taking certain supplements like zinc and ashwagandha. And within 2 years, I was actually able to double my testosterone. You know, when I first got it tested when I was 19 years old, and it should have been at the absolute peak, it came back at 430 nanograms per deciliter. Now, to put that into perspective, you know, that's something that you would expect from someone who's like 40, 50, even 60 years old. So as I began deploying these certain tactics to, you know, naturally raise my testosterone level to as high as I could possibly be, I was actually able to cure myself of skinny fatness and, you know, to greatly improve my body composition. But, you know, the most life-changing thing of all is really just the effect it's had on my quality of life. You know, I become, you know, someone who is a lot happier. And, you know, I've become a lot more positive and open to doing things that I would have never done before. And that has really made a world of difference. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And if not, leave some comments on how I can make it better. And if this is a topic you want to learn more about, feel free to check out my free hormonal optimization guide and supplementation guide, where I go a little bit more in depth on this topic. And, you know, the links are going to be in the description. And as always, keep dreaming while you're awake. Peace.
You ever wonder what it feels like when dreams bleed into real life? Seen scenes from TV get realized. Palm trees, a soft breeze and chilled ice. Till tides wash away our problems in the spilled wine.